This is the Lydia and Spin, and you know we're not going to stop. But we would appreciate any help we can get because, look, our mouths do not run on gas and air alone, occasionally food and drink. So if you wouldn't mind contributing, no contribution, too large or too small, because we're just going to keep going whether or not you help us out. Your gain, your loss.
The PayPal is paypal.me/TSD1975. That's paypal.me/TSD1975.
It would help. We're going to keep going. You know, we don't like to beg, and certainly we're not, but actually, it's a fucking command. Take it or leave it. Thank you. This is the Lydia and Spin.
Are we recording?
Heavy? Yeah. This is the Lydia and Spin with Lydia Lodge and Tim Dahl. Here we are coming into spring in Brooklyn.
Oh yes,
Hello,
hello. It's warm and well, it's got up to 80 today actually, but it doesn't feel.
Come on, 80? Are you shutting me?
It did. It got up to 80. I mean, it's
look. I always feel like I'm about 80, 81, whatever.
Well, I mean, the air quality.
I don't mean
really bad today.
I just mean heat-wise, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's below normal for body temperature. You hope better.
Well, actually, no. My temperature is always low, but I always feel hot.
Well, that's what it is. That's why when you have like a fever, you're shivering sometimes, and then when you're low.
As you can tell by my luscious pale white flesh,
it
is cool and clammy, but on the inside I am
yes, I can see that. I thought you were pushing your cleavage up to the camera there, which you were.
Whoa.
Look out.
Camera cannot have. It should have been.
I mean, there's, people can't. There's all studies on this. People just want to look at boobs, and women. Even if you're a heterosexual woman, there's just something that's primal about that. And
well, that's because if we looked at balls, we'd be fucking gagging. Hello. But as I like to say, my balls have ascended. I mean, look, I'm very lucky I got what I got because this is not normal for my family. We don't need to go into that. Anyway,
well, I mean, there's a lot.
The Maryland to the monsters.
Speaking of big boobs, speaking of large, Chrissy Gnomes, her husband, or maybe soon to be ex-husband, I don't know. That couple's.
I saw the picture. He was sporting a couple of big boobs because he likes to.
He doesn't even like Russ Meyer naturals. He's actually into the actual fake perverted, like giant absurd clown show.
I mean, he's not a masker like the guys that like to wear the whole vinyl face bodysuit thing. He just seems to be a titty teaser.
He's really into but then also is it a cross-dresser at night or something?
She's got pretty bad taste in men. I mean, first of all,
she's got bad taste in everything.
The husband, look, any man that wants to do whatever if a man wants to go femboy, trans, whatever, transvestite.
That's not the issue. The issue is the hypocrisy and the policies they fucking
there you go.
They try to push through, telling everyone else what they can do and actually standing on some moral pedestal as if they're somehow this kind of pure bullshit, which turns out they're just bullshit.
Look, the most moral, quote unquote, which means also religious, quote unquote, are usually the biggest perverts. But in my church, my religion, a man, a woman can dress, can be whatever they think they want to be. It can be different every fucking day. I do not care. Be what you think you want to be. Make it a reality. And if nobody else can handle it, just do it in your fucking house and just carry on. You know, nobody can tell me what to be. Look, just because I look like this, Tim Dahl, you know what I truly am. Come on now. I may look like Mae West, but I actually feel like Biggie motherfucking Smalls. Just saying.
Because
if I don't look like Biggie Smalls and feel like Mae West, that would be a contradiction hard to deal with.
Well, someone else who has more disasters these days. I mean, Tiger Woods was in his fourth major car accident. Like, buddy, you're worth like $2 billion. Like, You don't want a chauffeur? You're not even. What the hell's going on?
Why
there?
he doesn't want a chauffeur is he doesn't, what kind of false fucking pride is this? Which is the problem, actually, with a lot of what's going on in this country now is this false bullshit, megalomaniacal, egotistical, male, macho, patriarchal pride, which is the downfall of civilization from the beginning of time.
Well, and then of course it's just and because the tiller's in these guys' hands, it's going shipwreck. It's turning to shipwreck central here. It's all these decisions are backfiring right now. There's, oh my God, all of these like filters, these institutions were filters to kind of warn us for financial crises. They've all been slashed. They don't exist anymore. So we don't really know. There could be like a tsunami. There probably is one just around the corner, and we don't have the proper ways of detecting.
I want to talk about the 9 million or so people, which is still not enough, because is it ever, of the No Kings protest that just happened? Yes. But even beyond that, I want to talk about the fucking strike that's coming on April 1st. The strike. Do not buy. Do not go outside. Do not support. Look, it is I said this for fucking decades. Watch where every dollar you spend goes, because there's no doubt going into the enemy's pocket. You have to be very careful with every dollar you fucking spend, which makes sense to not spend money. But by the way, that's why I recycle. Thank you, Veterans Administration. Get your unused clothes, get your unused electronics, get your books, and send them to people that fucking need them. And don't buy shit you don't fucking need. Problem with America, buy too much shit.
Well, there's
money in the pocket of the enemies.
And so with all this shit that inevitably ends up in the landfill,
mostly Chile.
Well, actually, in outer space, we have 30,000 floating objects in our just outside our atmosphere there. And
I wish Elon Musk was one of them.
Well, the problem is there's these new chain reactions. So like a satellite will kind of explode or something will happen, and then it's just this shrapnel ends up smashing a lot of other ones. So they're worried about this kind of like the big one, sort of like out in LA with the earthquake, the big one, where basically there's going to be some kind of spaceship satellite thing, and then it's just going to set off a chain reaction of just everything just colliding. It's sort of like when you break the balls in a pool match.
I am very happy we are alive in this time of post-Orwellian, just duplicitous insanity, because although we probably will not see the end of the planet or world in our time, we know it is coming eventually. But then again, look, is it or is it not? And the thing is, it's a pretty big fucking planet, but they are killing it country by country by country by country.
They think there's gonna be we're gonna be out of jet fuel in 2 weeks, possibly.
That'd be great. You know what? Oh well, I guess we'll all be hitchhiking, and I'll give the serial killer something to look forward to.
Did you hear about this thing R3 Bio? This company that's been it's been part of the secretly and quietly when they started, in the 90s, when they started doing like clones like Dolly the sheep, and it didn't go so well. It's been this kind of little quiet one in the corner and developing, and they are trying to develop clones of people that are willing to give their DNA, whatever, to make a clone of them that basically are grown brainless. So when you get too old, you can transplant your brain into this other body of you, and just there you go.
This is all going in the wrong direction. I think the right direction, with however many 8 billion people now on this planet, we need to find a sustainable way, which war is not the way, but war is helping. I mean, excuse me, I am not for war. I just complain about it. Too many fucking people. Humans breed like rats. They're no fucking better. Excuse me. I say, mass sterilization, mandatory abortion. Too many fucking people. It's not going to work. We don't need clones. We need to declone. I don't know. I need to make a decloning machine. Like, you know what?
Well,
replicants are everywhere.
Nature's clones are twins, I guess, and
which is why I killed mine in the womb. Thank you.
Fraternal twins, but fraternal twins are not nature's clones. Identical twins are. Although you've also But you've also had fun with identical twins outside
But am
of the
I
room.
not my own identical quiz?
There was actually it's in the news right now. There's this woman in London, and she slept with these identical twins 4 days apart, and they literally can't tell whose baby it is because they have the same DNA.
Does it matter?
Well, it kind of does because one of them doesn't want to pay fucking child support.
Well, do I fucking blame them? And by the way, what the motherfuck? Like anybody who decides right now, what is the date? April 1st, 26. You want to have a baby? You are vulgar. You are selfish. And you do not realize what is going on in the planet because we do not need more people. We do not. I'm sorry, yours will not be that special. They might grow up to hate you, like most of us hated our parents. So what the fuck are you doing? And women, you want to shit out a watermelon when a man cannot take a Q-tip up his dick. You want to go through 18 hours of labor. You want 18 years of supplementing a need machine's life that might fucking hate you.
Particularly this woman who seems like she was having a good time. She was sleeping with these twins, all in the matter of days. And then she wanted to have one of them. I mean, that seems strange.
You know what? Your biological time clock needs to be shot out by all women on the planet. That's it. And with it, a quick vasectomy for all my friends. I will gladly pay anybody who wants one. Come out. I have the tools. Thank you very much. This is the Lydia and Stream with Lydia Lunch, Tim Dahl, and the second episode with Larry Mullins. Free vasectomies because you know why? Why not? This is the Lydia and Stream with Lydia Lunch, Tim Dahl, and one of our only second time repeat. I mean, we've had other people on here.
We had people repeat, but this is a to be continued episode with consecutive
with Larry Mullins, aka. Oh my God, a bee just flew in. Oh my God, I hope it doesn't end. I'm waiting on 3 deliveries, including the Veterans Administration. Now a bee just wait. Is there more than one? Hang on. Okay. With Larry Mullins, aka Tony Dabbit. Larry, did you fly in as a bumblebee? Hang on, I gotta get this guy out of here. Hang on.
Yes, Larry, do you have a? When was the last time you were stung by a bee?
Oh, that's been some years, but it certainly happened.
Oh, all right. Bees do not bother me. Only spiders try to kill me. But all right, we got him gone. What the hell? I mean, it is like 70 degrees in New York today.
75.
Well, you know, I'm always internally hotter than all the rest of you. But hello, how you doing, Larry?
It's cold here in Hamburg. I'm in Hamburg today.
Oh, well, you like I am a road dog extraordinaire. So, Hamburg. Look, when I was there a few months ago, it was colder than Siberia.
Yeah, for the water.
And staying on the Stubnitz on the boat.
Oh, really? I've played on that boat with Jesse.
Many times I've been on the boat, yes, and it's always freezing cold.
Yeah, we stayed on that boat. We
What else are you gonna do?
What else you gonna do? So it takes a while.
Stay on the boat. Seems like every time I'm on the boat, it's frozen and stuck wherever. I mean, the Stubnitz. I mean, it's a well-renowned travel. I used to travel a lot.
Yes.
Boat that I mean, I think some of the people from Test Department originally started it.
Oh, is that so?
And I know that one of the guys on the boat has been there like 25 years or more. I have no idea how many times I've played on there, but it seems like every few years I'm back on the boat.
Did you ever play when it was in Rostock? That was its original.
Yes, I did. Yes, I probably played when it was in Copenhagen. Hey, after 45 years, who's counting, right? Exactly. Larry, come on. Last time we were on, we gave a absolutely fabulous breakdown of your full circular Iggy Pop presentation, from like hearing raw power at a party, you are probably the only one listening to it, to passing out cassettes to people who did or did not give a shit, but eventually ending up playing for more than 10 years with Iggy Pop. This is what I call manifestation.
Oh yeah. Walking through the door.
If it gets shut in your face, you just kick it open again.
Right.
Well, so the Iggy Pop, how do we end with Iggy Pop? It was we kind of went back and forth and how it stopped, and then you got the call again, and you're doing Stooges, and but I guess part of this episode was to maybe tap into your vast experience with other artists.
Yeah.
Other difficult people to work with, except of course myself, which might have been the easiest gig you ever had, other than the fact you said it took you a couple of months to break down that mostly nursery rhyme album called Queen of Siam. You are a master of getting to the point, though. So, Swans, Mike Giroir, not one of the easiest people to deal with. He has a mission, he has a purpose, he has a vision, and he can be a fucking asshole. He can be a genius, or he can just be annoying. Call it what you will.
It's one of those three.
We recently had Norman Westberg on, who's like a very kind and wonderful gentleman. So, how did the Swans thing come about? And by the way, I have to say this: I have not always agreed with Mike Giroir, but I have to say, The Consumer, his book, is one of my favorite books. It's just so brutal and so beautiful and so incredible. I mean, his whole vision is extremely specific, focused, and brutal, and often beautiful. So kudos to that, in spite of however difficult he might occasionally be to work with. What was your experience working with the master of disaster, Mr. Mike Giroir?
Well, my experience with Michael actually goes a long time back before I ever worked with him, and that was a completely different situation because we, of course, I'd become a big fan of Swans through the '80s, through the early '80s, and
did you see early performances of Swans?
Yeah, I think probably I saw the first show. I wasn't that early, I guess. I probably saw when they came to Los Angeles for the Burning World, and that was when I was out there, when I'd come out there, and before I had started working with Iggy. But I had, back in those days, bands would put a lot of times you'd have a mailing address, like a post office box or something like that, on, right? Where you could write.
And by the way, we did used to write physical letters to people. I myself wrote to Hawkwind.
Oh,
by the time they wrote back, I was no longer interested. But that's what we used to do as teenagers.
Absolutely. So I was doing that with Michael, and we were in contact pretty often, and he would write me back, physical letters, So we were letter buddies, I guess you'd call it, and so when I started working with Iggy, we started out. The live shows all started out on the West Coast, and then there was a tour that came up, and a U.S. tour that started in the Midwest, and then halfway through it, we ended up in New York City. And so when we got to New York, I had warned Michael that I was coming, and that we had tentative plans to meet up and have a drink somewhere. So that's what I got to New York City, and he's one of the first people I met there. And so what did we do? We just met up at bars and drank and talked and told stories about what he'd done, what I'd done, whatever. We just became really good friends. And then at that time, because Iggy was living in New York, I was living in California, but it meant he would be bringing me to New York kind of often, sometimes for extended periods of time. So I ended up hanging out with Michael. You probably know Jarbo.
Yes, we had her on actually.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So I put them together, but Michael and I would go out later, as buddies, just bar hopping and getting installed in a lot of East Village bars and stuff like that, and smoking cigars and all that stuff that he used to do.
So you were friends before you were collaborators.
Yeah, for many years actually, for quite a while. So in those years, I was really working a lot with Iggy. Just there wouldn't have been time to do anything else. But I was in New York a lot. We rehearsed in New York, so I'd come there for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time. Doing rehearsals and staying in a hotel somewhere. But at night I'd go out with Michael. And so finally, around the mid '90s, I had a genuine break from Iggy. We were probably rearranging the band or something like that, and we had an extended break. And there was at that time, Michael had kind of dissolved the lineup of Swans, and he was looking to try to start all over with some new type of lineup. And so I was living in San Francisco by that time, and I invited he and Jarbo to come out to San Francisco, and I had suggested a couple of guys out there. One of them being Voodie from American Music Club, if you know that band.
Okay, I actually don't. I should.
Well, yeah, you should. They're an institution from San Francisco.
Okay.
What band is that?
American Music Club.
Oh yeah, I heard of him. I don't know him. Yeah.
Yeah, the singer's name is Mark Eitzel. He's quite a force.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But anyway, Voodie's a guitar player, and Voodie had become a best friend of mine out there in San Francisco, and he's a fantastic guitar player. So Michael also had started working with a couple of new guys as a management team. One of them, who he still works with today as a booking agent. Maybe you know Todd from Leafy Green. Do you know?
Oh yeah, he's out there. He's been around.
Yeah. Well, so at that time, this would have been around '95, I guess. Michael and Jarbo came out there, and we put this new lineup together there. And those guys with Leafy Green, they kind of kickstarted a new era for Michael, and we put that.
And what's really kind of amazing about the Swans is this is extremely loud. First of all, I saw some of the early shows. There was nothing louder except for ZZ Top. Okay, ZZ Top might have been louder. Yeah, there was nothing louder or more. I want to even invent a word. I want to say protuberant. It doesn't even mean anything, but it was like a 3,000-pound sludge rolling over you, which is a magnificent thing. That was early Swans.
Yeah, the music at that time was designed to do that. It was in the design of the rhythms and the, I mean, basically you didn't really have melodies or anything like that. You just had these construction zone type rhythmic things.
Like a giant boulder, a square boulder just rolling over and over. And I mean, there is many ways to describe Swans, but I can't think of a better way than just a giant fucking boulder crushing your bones with sound.
Yeah. While a big television commercial blasts. But yeah, I mean, they were great, and so we got them out there, and then we and one thing with Michael. Now I've been working with him since then, but every year, whatever we're going to start all over with some new project. I mean, he completely discards everything that he's ever done prior to that, and it's always going to be something totally new, starting all over.
But it's also going to be something totally boulderific in a sense. Even if it's something that's more acoustic, it's still somehow very devastatingly full.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But it's going to be something he's going to try to do as much as he can, something that he's not done before, and nobody knows, and everyone involved has to start from scratch, and it's like the thrill of the
starting from scratch make you itchy every time.
Your ears are going to be itchy, but
yeah, your fucking ass is going to be itchy if you don't get it right, because we know how Mike Giroux works.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a baton to beat you, but he can with one line or two. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you can imagine, he is, touring wise, that is one hard working troupe always to this day. Now it's just
and also, how long are the shows? I mean, I find the shows to be a bit. I mean, it's a bit too much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of in the Jello Biafra mold that like a 3-hour show. I mean, really, what are we going to college here? I mean, with Jello Biafra, I feel like you see one of his shows, you're going to college. With Mike Giroux, you're dying, you're being resuscitated, you're dying again, and there is no grave big enough to hold you because you just want to now dissolve into subatomic particles. I don't know. That's probably the highest compliment he's ever been paid. I'm just saying.
Yeah, the last 3 years or so the shows have been encroaching the 3-hour zone.
Which, I mean, I just find it. I mean, I guess I don't know how much he's charging for the shows, but I just find it a bit too much for me. I mean, first of all, who deserves, who wants? Can you get look as somebody whose early sets were 7 to 13 fucking minutes? Can you not get the point across? I'm just asking. Carry on. I got to go check my VA.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, the last few years, because some of the venue choices that he wanted to go for, we ran into some problems with that. And not this last tour, but the one before, we were playing in a lot of churches and synagogues and sort of religious centers and things like that. Really beautiful places, incredible. But the problem that we ran into there was something we didn't expect, which is a lot of the clergy, or the people that were running those places, they weren't used to putting on loud music concerts in their site, and so everything had to be brought in, all the electricity, a lot of backup power, and the PA systems and the lights, and absolutely all of it. The entire system had to be brought in from some other place.
Okay, so it was like an arena tour, but not an arena tour. You're touring with the whole production.
Yeah, well, we weren't traveling with all that. A lot of the times brought in from a local source, but not from there.
That's expensive, though. That's
Yeah, and it's also a lot of trial and error involved in that in terms of power, and we are drawing a lot of electricity, and so we had a lot of situations where the power would go down, and we'd have, things like that, lights would go off, but worse than that, even when everything was working correctly. They also have brought in all of the staff to handle this event, security and catering, and it's a lot of people brought in. Maybe they are members of the church or the synagogue or whatever, but they're there working. They've been told previously that it's going to be some kind of a rock concert or something like that, and they're just there doing the job that they agreed to do. But typically, I guess in the planning, of course, you have to tell people they're going to arrive this time. Their show's going to start that time. They'll probably finish there, and then we'll load out, and you'll be going home at this time. And so when we would start the show, the songs we're not even doing. Let's say we're doing 5 songs, but it's going to be 3 hours.
Right, exactly.
No one can imagine something like that happen.
Right, they're not prepared.
Especially someone that's not familiar with the band. So these songs just go on, and there's sections, and things are never stopping, and it's really crazy. And then it's crossing the 2-hour mark now. They're still going. They're approaching 3 hours, and so the catering can't clean up. All the staff and everyone that's come there to work, they're all just stuck waiting around, possibly double the amount of time they were originally told. So we ended up having a lot of those local promoters running into problems with the place, and which of course leads to everyone wanting more money, and all that kind of stuff. And so then we had to really have practical talks with Michael about, look, we really are going to have to reduce the show, the length of the show.
What about the other possibility of making sure the promoter knows, listen, this is going to be fucking over 3 hours of a performance, and if they're not communicating that, that's not fair to you guys?
Well, the way it went was, I guess even the booking agent didn't know that prior, because it wasn't really planned. What happens, maybe it initially was going to be about 2 hours, but as the show goes along, Michael kind of loses himself in the moment of certain sections or something. The songs are not constructed in regular sections like you'd have. Here's the intro, and here's the verse, and here's the chorus.
Right. It's almost rubato on some levels. It's kind of like
They're more like these.
Well put, Tim. Well put.
There'd be like
Otacon.
things would have like these sections. We'd just call it a section. This is the first section, and if it's going really well, he might just let it go on and on and on another 7 or 10 minutes before going to the second section.
So like a gospel, like if you went to a black gospel performance anywhere in the United States,
Tim, I have never heard swans compared to a black gospel.
A 2 to 5 hour. Where's it? Is it going to end? One question though, Larry. What about with the volume and playing these other venues you're not used to playing? What about just the general foundation and ornaments in the walls? I mean,
there were loads of worry about that too, and that's why we didn't do anything like that on the last tour. He just scrapped that whole idea because we played a lot of these massive, beautiful Catholic cathedrals all through the Baltic states, and some of the places were really magnificent. I mean, you walk in, it's like, you can't believe this stuff.
And I do feel that Swan's popularity, it's so amazing because it's a very difficult thing, which means that people need almost a brainwashing experience. They need to be overwhelmed. They need to be like bathed and baptized in sound for some. I mean, they need to dissolve into it, because if you don't give yourself over to it, you get out of there within 5 minutes. So you have to submit. And if you submit, you are bathed, you are like in a sound bath.
That's what happens. That's what they're going to get. And the people that can't deal with that, they are absolutely gone and out of there in 5 minutes.
And why would they even be there? So, I mean, it is a full body experience that you must submit to, or there's no reason to be there.
Yeah, there were some places that were so ornate with these gargantuan chandeliers hanging from iron chains from up in the rafters and stuff. And he was really worried. He actually was really worried at one point.
Might shatter the chandeliers. Well, did it ever happen?
Never happened. So, but we don't do that anymore. We're just.
I'm recalling a performance I did with Zev once, which was in a disused bomb factory at Ars Electronica. And we started at one end of this huge place, drive people to the other. But one of the installations was not hundreds, I would say like 40 pounds of shattering glass, and then dry ice machine, just this dry ice screaming DJ machine, and then ending with 200,000 firecrackers. Zev. But we made sure the shattering glass was not over the heads, unfortunately, of the audience.
Did you ever do anything with in the Bay Area like that with the?
Well, not what you mean with Survival Research, one of my favorites, of course. No, I never did anything with them, but I love Survival Research Laboratory. Actually, the guy that did the ice stream, was on this disused bomb factory. He was on this. What do you call these things that just move like this? He was from Survival Research and playing dry ice like a DJ, which was a screech.
Wow.
That's my only participation. And also part of this event was the Holbein brothers, who had invented the suicide machine, Amsterdam. They had Stalplat's record label, and they were like the Dutch Survival Research. They had invented a suicide machine, which was this huge metal table, and they had, through DuPont, gotten 3 different kinds of oils that you put on your body. So did you want to be rare, well done, or totally burned to a crisp? And you would anoint yourself with this, and then they would throw fire bombs at you. Of course, you would not die. But they were part of this performance with Zev because they had the Dante organ, which was 50-foot high flames that they would play like an organ. And that was the Holbein brothers, in kind of relation to Survival Research. Can't do that shit anymore, let's face it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was one of my favorite things about living in the Bay Area was being able to attend some of their performances. And I mean, yeah,
Nothing fucking like survival research laboratories. And whoever doesn't know should investigate because there are video clips. The loudest, the smelliest, the most dangerous live robotics performances ever.
terrifying
Ever.
robot, terrifying.
Terrifying.
Yeah. So Larry, I mean, speaking of things you can't do anymore, as salons keeps on going, I mean, just residential or wherever, just noise restrictions have changed, and laws have changed around that. And how often was that a lot of headbutting going on when the volumes that wanted to be achieved were basically people were trying to stop them.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point now, especially in the EU, those restrictions literally created the last tour we did. So that it wasn't that long. We did 6 weeks of shows or something like that. But city choices and the venue choices were all based on dB limits. He was searching for places that wouldn't have any, and of course it's law everywhere, but there are generally in a lot of cities there will be one place now left, some place where they can get away with it,
or a place of worship. Was that part of that too, or is that
no? Yeah, sometimes that would be, that they wouldn't be expecting that there. Wouldn't be the tight controlling in a place like that. But the last tour we did, literally, a lot of people were confused that we went here or there. Why are you playing here? Why are you playing here and not playing there? And it boiled down to because this place was not going to enforce a dB limit. And I've known of other bands, like I know for a long time, like Neubauten, they boycotted playing in France because a lot of this dB limit stuff started really heavy in France.
I did not know that.
And of course, they wanted to enforce that on Neubauten, and they just refused to play in France for a long time, a decade or something like that.
Lydia and I were playing once in Gothenburg, and
Sweden now is number one. They've raised their dB limit higher than any other country, higher than Switzerland or France. It's just crazy. I mean,
it's crazy.
You can have any type of construction site going on out on the street, and it's 10 times louder than that dB.
Well, limit. I mean, well, that was a joke, Larry. It's like we're there. It's like some festival, and there's all these bands, and they're rocking out. I mean, especially if they have in-ear monitors because it's loud in their ears. They're rocking out, and you can hear them literally their feet jumping up and down on the stage. You can have like a really soft-spoken conversation while a rock band's in front of you. It's so insane.
It's also fun.
No, exactly.
I don't know. It's I mean, at least
how many? Let's go back to the Swans for a minute. Like the group would change not only members but the size quite often, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was always mutating somehow.
We're mutating right now.
So, and you're still now. What is the next mutation or permutation?
I believe we're going down to a 4-piece.
Ooh.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, but I'm not entirely sure. But that seems to be what it's sounding like. But I think Michael has recently announced that we're going to track a new record in September.
All right, so let's talk about, you're talking about doing Stooges reunions and just going up against double stacks and just having to play against those types of amps and being in experiences with Swans that can at times be extremely loud. Am I wrong? But my hunch is that
I shouldn't be able to hear it anymore.
No. Not all your gigs are like this, is my hunch, and I don't know. Or maybe you are the guy to play in you're the super loud drummer band guy, but
not even playing drums in Swans anymore. I'm mostly playing. I'm the keyboard player, really.
Oh wow, amazing!
I've switched over to playing mostly keyboards with them, but I'm really loud.
But you're not breaking your hand by playing the bongos.
Yeah, I can't argue with you about that.
Look, if you've played with Swans for years and we did one show and you almost broke your hand, I gotta say, I'm proud of you, son.
Well, I was inspired, and I thought, this is the most important bongo solo of mine.
Well, so the segue with this is how loud is Nick Cave's stage sound? It's quiet, I would assume.
No, it's very loud.
It's very loud. Okay.
Well, I want to get to this. Working with Jim Sclavunis.
Yep.
Is he? I mean, he is, of course, one of my favorite people. He's hilarious, multi-instrumental. He keeps everything. It can really just make things a lot easier by his presence, right?
Great decider.
Because he's got no ego. He's hilarious. He's very talented. He's the tallest person I know besides Thurston Moore. When I did the Teenage Jesus reunion with him and Thurston, 2'6'7", me 5'4", I was like World Trade Centers and Building 7. That's all I can describe it. I love Sclavunis. He's hilarious. He's a grand leveler, though.
Oh, absolutely.
He never gets flustered.
No, he doesn't. Well, I can probably fluster him if I had to, but but he's really great at when you come to an intersection and no one can decide what should we do. He's great.
Okay. Now, when you were playing with Nick, was it also with Warren Ellis?
Yeah, Warren. Yeah, it's
I mean, that is kind of a toxic combination. I mean, great music comes, great assholism can form. You're laughing, but you know it's true.
Yeah, well, I'm in the hot bath. That's for sure with all those guys. It's really. I mean, of course, Nick.
Do you feel with working with them that you kind of have to keep your head down a little just to survive it, or what?
No, I mean, things have changed. I've been working with Nick for 11 years, and there was a tremendous event change that happened. About, I guess that was in 2018 when Thomas decided that he couldn't tour anymore. He didn't want to travel anymore. He wanted
Thomas, the drummer.
From D House. You worked.
Yes, a very cool guy.
Yeah, a coolest guy. And Thomas, he
couldn't because he had some physical problems, didn't he?
Yeah, and
Thomas Weidler. Is that his name, Weidler?
Weidler.
Yeah, such a great guy.
And so the W is like a V, so Weidler.
Yeah, Weidler. Yeah, German.
Decided that that he just chose that he didn't want to travel anymore, and so currently he's playing on all the records, but he made an official decision and announcement while we were on the road at one point, and that about 30 minutes later, Nick came to me and said, because I was the keyboard player. When I first started working with Nick, they brought me in as the organ player.
And when was that? What record was that, or what tour was that?
It would have been 11 years ago. So it was. I guess we were still doing the Skeleton Tree. I know it was before Skeleton Tree had come out. So it was the Push the Sky Away period going into Skeleton Tree, and Thomas. So for a while, we for some years, we were touring like that, and I got to tell you, it was the time of my life. I was having so much fun. I was the organist, but that back line back there, that was me and Sclavunos and Marty and Thomas, and I mean, we had so much fun.
All
playing.
Great people.
Yeah, every night was such a thrill, and playing with Thomas was like just a wild fairground ride every night. You didn't know what was really going to happen. And he was just so excited.
A master musician.
Yeah, he still is.
Nice guy. Guy.
In great shape, but he just didn't.
And Sclavunis was playing what, maracas and percussion.
Jim is he's the percussionist, but it's not just a maraca situation. He's got quite an installation there. He's got a massive office of stuff. Doing, and
don't underestimate Sclavunis, because he'll take you places you might never have been before.
Everyone is looking to him like that's where we are, but But
maybe they're looking to him not only because of his musicianship, but because of his fucking cool demeanor and level-headedness and lack of ego for somebody who's done so much and is so talented. That is really one of his fortes, is just the beauty of the essence of his existence. And I'm sending out much love to Sclavunis, even though I might have popped his cherry better me than anybody else.
you said it. Hi.
I said it, I claim it, I'll admit it, and nobody can deny it.
No, but people might be watching Jim really closely because he has a special little dance when he plays maracas that nobody can deny.
Well, I was recently reviewing some Vanity Set videos who I'd never seen live or never even heard, because some of the people that played with him were going to be visiting in New Orleans. And I'm like, I had no idea he cut the rug as he did.
They were fun with Jim up there singing. It was really, it's awesome. Yeah.
Is there anything Sclavunis can't do? I'm not sure. But anyway, sending much love out to him. So
he's done 3 tours this year in Australia with 3 different bands.
Which were who?
Oh, well, first we were down there for a month with the Bad Seeds.
Right.
And he turned right around and went immediately on tour with Transvision Vamp, if you recall that band.
Are they from like the mid '80s, London or something?
That one.
Okay. Yeah. I do not remember. I just called it out, but go ahead. And then what? And then what's the third one?
Pogues.
Pogues.
Playing with the
Pogues. Wait, Pogues.
The Pogues. Without Shane.
Without Shane. Okay, I didn't know there was a Pogues without Shane. Okay.
Yeah, they're doing this enormous sort of huge tribute show to him.
Okay.
And they've got a lot of different people in that show, but Jim's playing band.
He's playing what?
Playing drums.
As he should.
So.
I mean, Sclavunis is an amazing bass player. He's the best bass player for Teenage Jesus, that's for sure. Yeah. I mean, he got it in more ways than one. He got it in more ways than one. Always fun. Always fun. I'll be in Australia in June doing a couple of shows with Tex Perkins, singing a couple of songs with Tex Perkins, some spoken word shows, and he'll be doing whatever he does. And we'll be doing, which I had covered with Shotgun Wedding before, Hard for You. Great song. Love the Beast of Bourbon. Love Tex Perkins.
I may have mentioned, but yeah, the first time I went down there with Iggy, and we toured across a lot. We did a lot of shows across Australia, but half the shows were with the Beast of Bourbon. And
amazing.
Yeah, we had so much naughty fun back
so
there.
much naughty fun. Texas Book is great. And yeah, just by making a suggestion, their next album is coming out on In the Red Records, which is also putting out Big Sexy Noise Live, Cypress Grove, Shotgun Wedding all this year. Thank you. They love guitar rock. I'm just saying. I got to get a refill. I'll be right back. Tim, take it over.
Well, okay. All right. So you're oscillating between a lot of stuff right now. You're in Hamburg, but doing a recording or doing a performance?
Well, I've had a record company up here for, I guess we started that probably about 25 years ago with me with a partner of mine here. And we had it going for about 8 years or something like that. And then he had some medical issues and we decided to close everything down for quite a while. And about 6 years ago or so, he kind of came back into the entertainment industry and we wanted to get it going again. He had started another record company with another friend of his, and then that ran for a year, and then he contacted me and goes, look, why don't we just go ahead and get that going again? We've got to set up, we have all the infrastructure in place again, and it'd be really easy to, flip the light switch back on. And so we did. So we've been in the process the last 6 years, kind of reissuing a lot of the titles that we had done in the past for vinyl. And that's what I'm doing here now. We're slowly knocking that list down, and each one is. I mean, these are essentially reissue projects, but they're it's a lot of work involved. Mostly trying to go back to 30 years ago, trying to find all the artwork and stuff, and things that were backed up, and to try to dig up all the details of how those things were put together. And
So it's kind of like a form of spring cleaning. I mean, going back into the vaults of your whole life is you want to re-release these things, bring them to the world again, but it's also like I got to do something with all this stuff. I got to clean it out, right?
well, it's a lot of like detective type work, like trying to find out like where did high resolution scans go, and
Right.
or who's got the original artwork of that stuff, and do we have to get it rephotographed again and all this stuff. But typically, we're with all the releases we're doing, we have a lot of imagery, a lot of artwork involved in it, and that's ends up being like half the project is
Oh my
real
God.
stuff. And but when it finally comes out, it's really satisfying, and everyone's happy that it exists again. And
What about like old hard drives that new computers can't read and all that stuff? Do you run into that?
I encountered that on this project right now. But miraculously, one of us found a box of 4x5 transparencies of the stuff from 30 years ago, and there it was. We just had to get those things rescanned again. But yeah, I'm just up here for 4 or 5 days or so working with a graphic artist, like completing that project. And
And then you go to Los Angeles?
I'm going to Los Angeles next week. I'll be there on Wednesday night.
All right. And how long are you going to be there for?
Well, more or less about 5 or maybe a month, about a month.
But you're going there mainly for that one show, right? Or
That's the only show I'm doing with
okay. All right.
um, and Mark Mothersbaugh and the B-52s.
All right. Fun.
Oh, it's going to be good. There's a lot of comedians involved, and it's all this big hoopla celebration of Pee Wee Herman. So it'll be cool.
And what's your tour schedule look like this summer?
Well, Bad Seeds are going out the entire duration of June, July, and August. It's 3 months in the EU and the UK. There's one show in the UK, and the rest is all in the EU. So it's a lot.
So do you have dual citizenship? I assume because when you're working with musicians who are not American citizens, what's going on now is pretty insane in terms of just visas that come in. Now it looks like
You've been living in Germany for so long.
No, no, I don't have dual citizenship anywhere. I'm a red-blooded American carrying a red-blooded passport, and
But how have you been in Germany for so long?
Well, the thing is,
they don't really care anyway.
Well, they don't. But the hard reality is that I'm not there that much. I'm certainly never there for long periods of time.
Do you have an apartment there, though?
Yeah. I have. I've had an apartment there for 25 years or more.
Because one could afford it.
Yeah, but I'm rarely there.
Consider any place your home?
Well, that's technically my home, I guess. I mean, that's where all my stuff is. But I have a lot of stuff sitting in Los Angeles too. But I have an incredible storage unit in Los Angeles that I could consider my home. It has a window.
Okay.
I as a chronic nomad, I mean, people always think of me as, diehard New Yorker, but I've been in New York probably less than I've been everywhere else. Like, usually I would move every 2 to 4 years, wherever, right? But I lived in Barcelona the longest. That was 8 years. And I don't even believe that I'm back in New York, because when I came back after living in Barcelona, I was a nomad for 4 years. I did not want to settle back in New York. But I have. But where I live in New York is like, I feel like I could be in Savannah, Georgia, or anywhere, because my apartment is so like trees outside the window, ungentrified neighborhood, far away from everything. Leave me alone. But I still, every 2 weeks, I'm like, where should I move next? Where should I move next? But as a road dog, I'm often on the road. So My vacation is in my bed where I'm sitting right now as we do this podcast.
When I go back to Berlin, I mean, it's terrible. I go back there and I just sort of become a recluse and just want to.
I don't leave my apartment. Ask Tim Dog, do I ever leave unless I'm on tour? What do? You come to me.
Just want to be at home and reorganize myself and clean things.
I was just cleaning out closets and found a bunch of knives I didn't realize I had. I mean, I do have a bucket of knives beside my bed, but I found a bunch. I'm like, where the hell have these been hiding? And I have a box going down now to the Veterans Administration. Yeah, which is part of my dilemma here. Got to clean out shit all the time, especially as a nomad. I don't even know how I got so much stuff. My apartment might look like a minimalist, but I'm like, I got to keep downsizing just in case one day I might have to go. I got to go. Like right now, I gotta go, gotta go right now, which crosses my mind every 2 weeks. But the apartment I'm in now, I could be in any number of cities. This is not like a very New York state of mind I'm in, which is what keeps me here. I mean, Tim Dahl keeps me here. Matt Nelson keeps me here. There might be 3 other people. Other than that, road dogging, I'm road just like you, road dogging. Got to do it. It's what we are.
Last 3 to 4 years, it's kind of amazing because Nick and Michael are really good old friends. Also, as I'm sure you know,
2 assholes make really good friends. I'm sure. Go ahead, no doubt. Mm-hmm.
Well, as you know, both these guys are
Don't
really
assume I
hard.
do know. Yeah, go ahead.
They're hardworking guys.
Well, you know what? I have to say, another hardworking guy once said to me, I work to avoid myself. And that was a great quote by Henry Rollins.
There you go.
You see, I do not work to avoid myself. And also, look, we only have so much time on this earth. So some people just are super fucking prolific. And even though we might sit here, anyone you've named or not, who might say, I mean, look, Red Skeleton wrote 8,000 fucking songs. We're slacking. All right, that was a comedian. Okay, we're slacking. Just because I wrote 450 songs, if you divide that by 45 years or 50 years, that ain't much. So, but I can be the laziest bitch in the whorehouse. I am not obsessed that I have to do something. There's just some people that need to do something. They just got to do it.
Well, Michael is definitely one of those people that needs to do something. And they have been booking, just between the two of them, they've really been booking a lot. And I'm just swirling around in the middle of it, bouncing back and forth between the two guys. And there's a big price to pay. You don't really have a life anymore. But I'm just sort of swirling in the vortex of those two guys for the last 3 years, almost nonstop. So I don't see it stop.
What do you want to do? But what do you want to do when you do stop?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I mean, I do all kinds of things when I stop. You have not seen how luxuriously lazy I can be. I may be prolific. I cook for my friends. I take care of the babies I know, all of the musicians, basically. I love to do nothing. It just seems like I do a lot.
Yeah.
I got, I wouldn't say I'm moderate at all, but I can relax. And I do believe that pleasure is the ultimate rebellion.
Yeah, I for sure when I come flying out of one of these things I go home and I won't leave the apartment. I just want to I'll gather up enough food in the kitchen so I will not have to leave, and then just stay in there. Got plenty of everything and organize and clean and sleep.
Larry, we are on the same page with that. We have a lot in common, my friend. That's what we do. Because sometimes however many people you're seeing tonight, however much energy you're putting out, when you get back to wherever that sacred space is that you call home for that moment, there is nothing as beautiful as being alone. I love being alone as much as I love everybody else. I love being alone. I do. It's a very sacred space.
And you can come up with new ideas that way.
Hello. Hello.
So.
Anyway, I think we've covered a lot of road on this. As our only maybe not last, but certainly our first double-decker podcast. And God knows we still have more that we could conquer. I'm so happy to know you, my friend. I'm so happy you're working. Multi-instrumentalist, composer, general fucking cool dude, easy to fucking work with, which is why he can work with all these cocksucking motherfuckers who are right hard to deal with. Except for me, of course, I'm easy. And somebody that's just going to be around like we are, stubbornly, relentlessly, independent, doing what we do, because it's what we do. And I thank you for doing that, Toby, damn it, Larry Mullins.
Thank you, Lydia.
My friend. I appreciate your existence.
I'm going to be out there working really hard with Jim Sclavunos in June, and I'll give him a big hug from you.
Oh, that's the least of what you should give him from me. That's the least of what he's got. Exactly. If you could reach up, only could reach up and kiss that cheek, but he is a big, tall drink of water. Yeah. I like him tall, though.
Not my first rodeo.
Hello. Yeah, well, you might not be your first rodeo, but I was Sclavunos' first rodeo. Hello. And cheers to you. Have a glass of wine. I'm raising my whiskey. Thank you very much. This is the Lydia and Spin with Lydia Lunch, Tim Dahl, Larry Mullins, Toby, damn it. Amazing drummer, percussionist, composer, friend of mine. Happy to know you, my friend.
Larry, cheers. Thanks for doing this 2 weeks in a row. Much appreciated. And safe travels to Los Angeles.
And keep in big touch, my friend.
See you out there somewhere.